I've always been
Here comes this mic. Come on.
no, it's not. I'm curious to your take on this. So one thing I've always found interesting on like shows or movies, whatever, is like when I see like relationships or marriages go through like certain like what I think situations that aren't that deep, and it really separates the people in a relationship. So for instance, you ever watch The Game?
The show.
Yeah, the football John.
Melody and Darwin.
Yeah, I used to talk the show. So I remember one time the character in there, Jason Pitts, he was taking steroids at one time. And he was hot. So my point is also, I'll find interesting when people hide from their wives and their husbands.
Oh, yeah.
He was taking steroids and he was hiding from his wife at a certain point.
So I remember vaguely.
Right. And originally it was kind of like just a shame thing. He didn't want to tell nobody. Cool, I understand that. But then once his wife found out, she kind of like, nah, nigga, I'm going to expose you if you don't do it, this and that, whatever. And I was just like, the least of my concerns if I was doing something like taking steroids is me hiding from my wife. Because the last thing I would think is
my wife gonna tell me.
Right, and you not riding. Like it's like
I like this money that I'm making it benefits you too.
Right, like ain't like I killed somebody. So like what the fuck? Wait, bitch, I'm taking steroids.
Moral compass strong as shit. Motherfucking moral compass on fucking Popeye spinach.
Right, so to me, like, how are you with trust in relationships? Like, are there certain things we not, but it's certain bound. Even if I love you, we together, maybe at a certain time, but certain things we're not going to partake in. But I'll say first, so with my girl, and we've been together for so long now, whatever. It ain't really too many things, if anything, I could think off the top of my head that I wouldn't tell her, as far as like something I did or I'm doing that, bitch. You better hold it down.
Yeah.
That last thing I'm thinking is like, you not holding this down. It's like, you're going to be like, either you about to help me plot further where to put the body at, like, or you're going to be like.
You going to grab a shovel?
Yeah, like, or you're going to be like, cool.
Yeah, like either we going to mind your business or it is your business.
Right, like.
You're not about to make it your business to tell my business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But no, to answer the question, when I think about trust in a relationship, you know what I mean? I'm like fully transparent. Like, I got a strong conviction within my own spirit to where as though, like I can't withhold certain things. I can't omit. And it's like, even when I've tried to, it just doesn't sit right with my spirit. So it's not like, it started from me just wanting to be this holy Samaritan. It was like, nah, like my spirit, the conviction that I feel, the guilt that I feel if I'm not transparent, if I'm withholding, if I'm not sharing certain things, is so strong and present and prevalent that I can't bear it. So it strengthened my desire to be upfront, but it also strengthened my desire to want that. So that's like a prerequisite for a relationship with me. I know that women got their to the grave moments and you'll never know everything about them. But for me, I don't respect omission. I don't respect you holding or withholding valuable information that could alter the way I see a situation just because you don't want me to see you differently in that situation. I want you to give me the freedom and the luxury to be able to think for myself and see the situation off my own perspective and trust my love for you will supersede whatever judgments you think I might have. So when I think about it, I feel like I only want to be with a person that I can be completely transparent with and that can be completely transparent with me for whatever reason in any situation. Like you said, it's like, I would much rather I know you got my back more than I got to worry about, like, why would I have to hide something from you? How can we really say we together if our trust is predicated on certain things that we can't even discuss? It's like, no, like some things don't need to be discussed. And it's like, I trust that you got my best interest, so we don't got to go into the details. But I shouldn't feel like you ain't going to bring me certain things because you think what I'm going to think about you, or you think it's going to obscure my perspective of you, or I shouldn't want to do that either. And then from another nutshell, it's like, that just put the relationship at risk. Because it's like, who are you taking this information to, and who do you trust more than you trust me? So a prerequisite for me is I gotta trust you unwaveringly. I gotta trust that you got my back behind my back. I gotta trust that you're gonna always keep it 100 with me, and I gotta trust that you're gonna allow me to think for myself in a way that that whatever I'm thinking is gonna benefit the overall bigger picture. It's not a selfish perspective that I'm coming from, or you can't have one in a situation. And going to the whole, the only thing I think that I wouldn't tell my woman is the things that I will have to protect her from. This isn't about infidelity when I say that. I'm saying, like, if you know how, like, you do something, right? Say you use the term of burying something, having to bury a body. If I'm not sharing it, it's because if you ever get questioned about this, I want you to be able to legitimately say, I don't know. Right. I'm not about to not tell you, because if you ever, I feel like I'm gonna tell my woman anything that could come up to hurt her. Anything else, if it's something that I can make a judgment call on, it's like, I'm not about to tell my kids I'm struggling.
Yeah, I don't need you.
Like, I don't need you to know this. Like, I'm not telling my kids I'm struggling. I'm not about to tell and I say that to women. I've been like, well, I just want to know because I want to help. So is you going to tell your son that the light's about to be off? You going to tell your daughter that? No. Why? Because you're going to figure it out. That's how we going to do it as men. So when I think about the withholding, I'll withhold information that'll create a headache for her. That's going to then in turn create a headache for me. But anything that could be detrimental to us, I'm never going to withhold. And anything that's personal where it's like, oh, she got a health problem or something, or I got to share that shit so we can work through this together. We a team. We are not each other's opponent. And if you feel like you got to hide anything from me, that's clearly a disconnect. And you letting me know that you don't think that we on the same team. Somewhere in the deep back of your mind, you think that I'm going to judge you. And if you can't remove that fear of my judgment, because my judgment is not judgment. It could be constructive criticism that can make you better. It could be what you exactly need, the solution you need to make us better. And if you feel like you got to withhold that from me, we not in a relationship. We in a secret.
In a secret?
It's just I don't even know what word to put behind it. It's just a fucking, And what I mean by that is we in a chamber of secrets. Yeah, I mean, there we go. We in a chamber of secrets.
So to bring it back, so to your point though, with that stereotyping situation where you, because she don't got nothing to do with football. So
no, it's like, yeah, I mean, I feel like if you not telling somebody because you're embarrassed, you got to muster up the courage to just say what it is, because that's the purpose. That's how you create a safe space. You can't create a safe space if you never allow yourself to be vulnerable. You follow what I'm saying? Like, it's not like you don't even know if the space is safe because you're guarded. You're apprehensive. You're reserved. So you going into the situation saying you don't got nobody you can lean on, but you're never allowing yourself to lean on somebody. So I'm not going to hide that. I've shared some deep shit with every woman I've ever dealt with. Like, and it ain't no, I don't know where y'all mind going. I say some deep shit. It ain't that deep. But I'm just saying, like, things that you don't have to share, things that I could have just kept to myself, but I'll just be transparent. Like, if the motherfucker was out there taking steroids and that's what the motherfucker, and this, of course, is a hypothetical situation, I wouldn't feel like, that's like a motherfucker say they got a pill problem. You know, you should share that with your partner because maybe they can help you away from it. You got a drinking problem. You got a gambling problem. Like, your problems are not things that you should have to conceal and hide. They're things that you should present so you can create a common resolve and a solution that better fits the bigger picture. But if you feel like you can't tell somebody your problem, then maybe that's not somebody that you trust enough to be in a committed relationship with, and just be honest with yourself about that. And go find a person, like your therapist. Like, it should be that sense of that element. Like, because you going to tell my therapist shit, so why wouldn't I tell my woman? Unless it's some shit she don't need to know for the betterment of her safety and security.
Or you fucking your therapist.
Never touching my therapist.
I didn't say you. I said, why you like guilty? My mom. Why you guilty?
No, I guess you're right. It wasn't a guilt thing. I think it was more so, I think because I was referencing me, when you referenced that, I think I just internalized it. But if there's a woman out there, right, who's not my therapist, but she has the therapeutic qualities that make me feel seen and heard.